All right, chapter 1 to review. Number 20 says, if 3 times the quantity x minus 4 equals 18, what is the value of x minus 3? Well, I can't find the value of x minus 3 until I know the value of x, so I'm going to start by solving this equation. Okay, the way that I'm going to solve it is I'm going to first of all distribute the 3, so I'm going to get 3x minus 12 equals 18. If you're a line drawer, you can draw a line. From here to solve for x, we're going to add 12 to both sides. So now I'm going to have 3x equals 30, and then to get rid of the 3, we're going to divide both sides by 3, so I'm going to have x equals 10. Now that I know what x is, it's asking me to find the value of x minus 3, and we know that x is 10, so 10 minus 3 is 7. Right, number 21 asks us to solve for x. We have 4/9 x plus 1 plus 2/9 x equals 19. We're not going to let the fractions freak us out because there's a fraction button on the calculator, so we should be all set with that. So what we are going to do is I'm going to add the like terms. 4/9 x and 2/9 x both have x's, so if I add those two, I'm going to end up getting 6/9 x plus 1 equals 19. I believe if you're using your calculator would reduce that to 2/3 x, so it might, your problem might say now 2/3 x plus 1 equals 19. Okay, and then from here, just like solving what we did over in number 20, I'm going to subtract 1 from both sides. So I'm going to get 18, and the 6/9 x is still there. And then to get rid of 6/9, just like we got rid of the 3 we divided, we're just going to divide both sides by that 6/9. So if I do 18 divided by 6/9, I end up getting 27, I believe. So the answer to that problem would be 27. Okay, problem 22, it asks us to solve and graph. So this one I'm going to go ahead and draw my line. And from here, to get the x by itself, I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides. So I'll get negative 2x and then 24. And then to get rid of the negative 2, just like I got rid of the numbers on the other problems, I'm going to divide both sides by negative 2. So I'm going to get x, 24 divided by negative 2 is negative 12. And then since I divided by a negative, I do need to switch the way that the inequality is going, so I'm going to make that less than or equal to. So that's my inequality. And then when I go to graph it, negative 12, negative 11, negative 13, I'm going to have a closed circle at negative 12. This is less than, so it's going to point to the left. All right, number 23, I see the word or, so I know I'm going to have an apart graph. I'm just going to draw a squiggly down the or, so I have 2 separate problems that I'm dealing with here. I'm also going to draw a line down this one. To solve this first equation, I'm going to subtract 9 from both sides. So I'll be left with 5x and 20. I'm then going to divide both sides by 5. And when I do that, I'm left with x on one side, 4 on the other. I did not divide by a negative, so I do not need to switch the way the inequality is going. I'm going to pop in my word or there. And then to solve this next one, I'm going to solve it the same way. I'll add 5 to both sides. So 25 plus 5 is 30. I'm still left with 3x. I'm going to divide both sides by 3. So I'm left with x and 10. I did not divide by negative, so I get to keep the greater than sign the way that it is going. So that would be my answer. Now when I go to graph it, I'm going to put 10, 11, 9, 4, 5, 3. We've got 6, 7, 8 going somewhere in the middle there. We're going to have a closed circle at 4 pointing to the left, and we're going to have an open circle at 10 pointing to the right. Okay, number 24, again, we're going to solve and graph. This time I know notice that it's a connected problem, so I'm going to end up with a connected graph when I am done. I'm going to draw lines down both of them. Please remember we're trying to get the x by itself in the middle, so I need to get rid of the 14 first by subtracting 14 from all 3 parts. Negative 10 minus 14 is negative 24. I'm still left with 4x in the middle. 18 minus 14 is 4. I'm next going to divide everything by 4 to get that x all by itself. So I'll get negative 6. I still have x in the middle. I have 1 on the outside. I did not divide by negative, so I simply just need to bring down those 2 signs. So that is my answer. I know that x is going to be somewhere between negative 6 and 1, so I'm going to put negative 6 on one side, 1 on the other. I think I'll just put 0 in the middle. Open circle at negative 6, closed circle at 1, and I'm going to be shading in between. Right, 25, this one says to solve for h, so I'm going to circle the h. This one's a little bit different than what we've been seeing. I just need to get rid of what's by the h, which is the b and the 2. So I'm going to get rid of the 2 first. This says h divided by 2. To get rid of divided by 2, we're going to multiply by 2. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 2. 2 times a is 2a equals the 2's are gone, that's why we did that, and I'm still left with BH. So I'm still going to circle that H. Now if I'm solving for H and I want to get rid of that B, we're just going to divide both sides by the B. So now the B is gone, so I'm left with 2A over B is equal to H. It is now solved for H. Okay, problem 26. Unfortunately, while learning to drive, you rear-end another car and do damage to the bumper of your car. A repair bill for the car is $553. The parts cost $265. The labor costs $48 per hour. How many hours of labor did it take to repair the car? Well, I'm going to write an equation to help me out with this. You can do it another way, and that's totally fine. I saw that the parts are going to be $265, plus I'm going to pay $48 per hour, but I don't know how many hours I'm working, so I'm just going to put H, and then equals my whole repair bill was $553. Okay, so now there's an equation that I can solve for H. I'm going to start by subtracting 265 from both sides. So I'm going to get 48H equals, let's see here, I don't have my calculator handy, so I'm just going to do some borrowing here. I'm going to get 884. Okay, now we're going to have to divide both sides by 48. I believe I get 6 if I do this, if I divide. If I'm wrong, you'll have to correct me. Let's just make sure. 8. Yes, that should, no. Oh, this should be a 2. Okay, so yes, that would be fine. I do believe I get 6 when I do that.